Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Temple of Equality. I'm so glad to see you here. I'm so glad to have you join. I have quite a bit to go over this week, and in order to make sure that my messages get across that I want to progress in this week, I am going to start with announcements. So, if it is your first time here, welcome. If you have been here before, I welcome back. And if you're new here, this is the Temple of Equality, and we are part of a organization called the Church of Flames. And FLAMES is an acronym standing for Fire, Love, Art, Music, Equality, and Sustainability. I recommend visiting our website or our Facebook links below in order to learn more. In the meantime, I am excited to talk about this week. This week is definitely dubbed a manifestation week. The ability to manifest something, create it, develop it, and birth it is very high right now, and this opportunity for us lasts from now until mid to late December, which is perfect because, as I said, this was not going to be your typical temple that may or may not have homework. This is going to be your one that does. Sometimes it's not going to be, I'm going to try not to ask too much, but when you're diving into the word equality, there comes a level of teamwork makes the dream work involvement that happens. And this is a week that I think we can get active on activating that aspect within ourselves. So I was doing my work last week, right? If you watched last week's video, then you know that I had asked you to, if you had time, energy, thoughts, a notepad, a song you wrote, a inspiration, anything that happened over the last week that relates to what we talked about last week, to leave it in the comments. And I hope that you are willing to do that. But as my week was moving forward, I was like, we need a journal. The Co-Flames members need a journal, not some forced journal that I'm like, you will write in it every day by 8 a.m. That is not what I'd ever ask of anybody, but a journal that's available to our members because one, we deserve to be remembered. Two, we absolutely should write down the emotional and physical and mental states that we're in. Three, it helps us get it from the inside, stored up, to the outside, transmuted. And so there's a lot of healthy work that comes in the theme of journaling. And so I have a couple things I want you to do this week, okay? You are going to find on the Church of Flames, Equality in parentheses, page, link below, a couple of polls, Polls, that I'm going to put out this week. And in general, I'm not going to say this is exactly what they'll say, but in theme, the first one will be, hey, who wants to help create a planner? Yes, and then your little picture appears and I can see who does. No, and it's okay about those pictures. I just, like, I'll know who does not want to help with planner. And then another one that says, I can design, describe, type, create, project, plan. Heck, I just want to learn more. So that if this is truly manifestation week, and this is not had to be done by the end of the week, this is like the Seven of Pentacles energy, harvesting, watering it. I'm taking it from in here to out here, transforming. So this process actually is so perfect for this week that I'm kind of blown away. So if you can, please watch for those polls and answer them so that we can begin to develop different teamwork makes the dream work aspects so that we can create something really cool, really useful, really informative and really representative of who and what Co-Flames is. So I cannot wait to move forward on that. Of course, as time moves on, there will be more opportunity to participate. This poll is just to say, cool, I've got a couple people, we can start chatting in different modalities, okay? Um, I just think everything's laid out for us. We just got to pay some attention. And this week we're going to do a little bit of that again because I want you to understand how and why it makes so much sense that this idea has come to me right now that can be done in time. It actually plays perfectly into my 8-week launching program, and we can all grow, learn, and do what we love together. Um, because this is the week of the new moon. And so it's a very, very good time to come up with some intentions for yourself, for your work, for your community, for your church, for your engagement party. I don't know, lots of people have lots of things going on. To put that intention in starting today, Monday. So if you have some time today, think about different things that you would like to put intention into. Because of course, if you do that, you have to actually put in the time and effort to help you expand. And we'll get into that on manifesting something that you really love. Okay, it's perfect time for that. So this new moon is of course tomorrow, which is great. The skies will be darker, and so if you are up at night and you are just laying there counting chickens or ducks, what do you count? Sheep. Maybe it's worth it to take a step outside and just look at the night sky before you, because the moon is going to be at its newness and also pretty dang far away from Earth. The day after this new moon, not even the day, it's like it's just at the same time, okay? Because time is totally different out there. Mercury and Mars are going to be conjunct. And Mercury deals with our thoughts, our minds, our thought patterns, our intelligence. Like, in a sense, it's very Gemini. It's very communicative. It's so cool. It's lined up with Mars. So there's a chance that it could get fiery. But if you're in alignment and you're doing what you love, this shouldn't come up as a huge negatively impacting energy, because you would be focusing your energy into doing what you love. So this is an awesome week. It just gets better every time I think about it. You've got your head with your heart behind it, like, because that's what a fire sign is passion, but it's Mars, and so it is action packed. So like, if you think it could be fast, you're just like I'm gonna go now, or what better time to start than now, like, type energy. That it's exciting, because if you've focused your intention into that at the new moon, and then you're starting to create it, you're coming at it with your grace, not with frustration or anger or rage or even desire to have it done now. Because that's, like, for this journal, which I can just use as an example, we have the energies to create this beautifully until mid-December. Well, what better time to have a journal wrapping up and coming into completion than being able to launch it around the beginning of the year, the year that we have, the one where it goes from 25 to 26, because I know there's lots of New Year's throughout the year, but I'm like, boy, this just fell into my lap. But really, it didn't. It didn't fall into the lap. The energies are available to us, and this is why I love working with these systems. Um, and as we get further, I'm gonna, don't worry, I'll get into what gene keys these are all in. In the new moon, while you are trying to focus on your intention, know that you have a bunch of timelines that you can choose from your experience, from your history, that you know what you love, or you know what you can do, or you know what you can create. Remember all of the timelines of all of these, and really put your intention into what you want this time to feel like. You know, like if it's I loved BMXing when I was 12, and so I'm going to be a professional BMXer, and you're like 43. Like, I totally am down. I'm like, yes, do that. But it could be that, you know, you're not quite exercised enough, and you have to really work on the intentions. And yes, you can always work on that, but something that can be done within the 28 days. Like, I would like to change my diet so that I can become a BMX. I don't know where I come up with this. Racer in by this time next year. You do whatever you want. You can choose the timeline. In this one, if we can keep it in the 28 days, we can really see how the energies I'm going to talk about move, rather than these huge ones where I'm like, well, we're not really going to know for 3 years. Like starting the church took 5. So all the timelines that we wanted to be on, we're finally getting there, and everything is just on time and perfect. So so in the end, there was no sense in trying to feel like we needed to rush it. I just love that. So today, Monday, sit with yourself and work on clarity. What timeline do you want to anchor in? What action would be your most enthusiastic action? Like if you want to be your BMX racer in a year, what do you want that to look like? Well, I don't want to fall off oh God, I'm not even going to go down that path with seeing the news yesterday. That's weird that I even went with that. That must have been some weird intuitive hit. Sorry if you don't know anything about the Red Bull thing that happened yesterday in the helicopter. But would you be most enthusiastic about changing your diet or exercising more right now for 28 days? Because once you get into the habit of changing your diet, you're probably going to stay on that trajectory, and you can add exercise in next month or on January 1st when everybody else goes to the gym, and you can write it in your planner so that when you don't go, you can be like, and when you do, you're like, woohoo, I don't care. It's all up to you. You can do. You can make. I'm not here to judge. I am here to create a planner, though. I don't know if I had brought that up. Anyway, yes, I've recorded this video more than once. So, so while you're working on what you want your intentions to be, which is probably not BMX racing, not anymore, anyways. Do your thing. I personally am asking if we can start working on this group project, on this equality coming together manifestation, as it is above, so it shall be below, brought through in the detail of us here in equality through the Church of Flames. From now until always, but right now, while you're doing your intention, remember that your words are spells. So you want to be careful with what you say. Like, probably lots of things I've said today that are like, Erin, words are spells, and I am always hoping, wishing, and wanting the best across the board and harm none. So remember, how important your words are. And when you say them, make sure you mean them to the best of your ability. I know in the moment, especially with the Mars energy, that's why the next best thing to do is learn to forgive yourself. That's going to help a ton. Don't worry, we're all human. So we've gone through the new moon. We're adjusting to this kind of coming together of Mercury and Mars, which are going to stay together for a little bit of time. Mercury is the fastest moving planet, so it's going to kind of zip past Mars, but it is going to be in Scorpio for some time. And we're going to get into that even more, because this is, like I said, we had a lot to go over this week in equality. On Wednesday, as we're integrating this this new intention that we've put into ourselves, and we're saying, okay, well, now I've got to get up at 5:45 so I can be to the gym at 6 and exercise till 6:45, shower till 7, and be on my normal routine so that I can like continue to do what I love all day. I hope that's what you're doing. I know all of us aren't, but participating in our duties and responsibilities and meeting our needs in whatever way that looks like. This is a very Seven of Pentacles day, and Seven of Pentacles refers to our abundance, our worth, our patience. It is basically a tarot card where in the standard deck, wait, I can't remember the first word. Oh well, that's okay. There's like a vine, a grape plant that looks like a wine plant to me. But it has, and sometimes it'll be a tree, it'll be a bunch of different things. Tarot deck cards vary from one deck to another, from artist to artist, from story to story, but it generally has these 7 pentacles that are like the fruit of the tree. And the like farmer or the fool is out tending to his garden, meaning getting them water, getting them nutrients, checking their pH, getting them their sunlight they need, checking to make sure that they're healthy and growing. Manifestation, it's just at the beginning, kind of like this journal is, kind of like where you can be in this perfect energy right now and have it actually, boom, you'll be harvesting that and being like, it worked. Don't you love it when it works? Like, I'm hoping that that's what we can get to in this journal with your participation. With the new moon, and then with Mars and Mercury meeting it, this is going to be on Thursday, the 23rd. Mars will be moving out of Libra, where it just had a new moon, and crossing where Mercury and Mars have been conjunct, creating that spitfire energy to create. Just brings it so much grace. Now it can bring in some emotional, it can bring up some past, it can bring up some confusion. It's the moon, but it's here to assist. It is getting fuller, having moved from new moon, see it, to full moon is its pattern now, and it's going to be in the very first phases. So it's going to be like our favorite Cheshire cat. This is a very, very great time to, with your intention, with what you want to manifest, create structure, protect your energy, and give yourself the discipline and boundaries that you need in order to manifest this with the most jive it can. Like, you can always get some grapes, or you can get some world-class grapes that win awards. And a lot of that has to do with what you are feeding your manifestation, and whatever that looks like. So this cycle, which is only a few days because the moon moves quick, is plan, create, decide, dream, then do. Okay, so just keep all of those it's going to become. Like, if you water and nurture this manifestation from the time that you put in that loving intention with two of our personal signs in Scorpio, seriously, and we're going to get into that too, and the grace of the moon and its newness and its open energy, it's just prime time. A note that I took for myself in order to kind of put that into perspective was, you feel the commitment without the angst. You know how sometimes we just like, I'm gonna get it done now, and universe is like, nah, or I'm gonna get it done now, and we do, and we're like, oh, that's, I could have done better. I could have tried harder. I could have put in more time. I could have gotten more help. I could have, list goes on and on and on, because we wanted to rush. And we're not going to feel that as much with this energy. We're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I think I'll drink 8 cups of water today and go to the gym tomorrow. You know, at least then you know you're hydrated for the gym. Stay hydrated, friends. Now, we're going to get into the complexity of what all of that means. Erin, what? Okay. This is where it gets to where not only are all these energies equally available to all of us, depending on nothing. It's all available to us equally. We choose yes, we choose no. That decides our timeline. Here we go. We have a massive pattern happening in the sky called a grand trine. It is in the water signs. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And these are not like, oh, well, what comet is out there, what asteroid is out there. Nope. These are our planets in this trine being created in the sky. Trines are complementary aspects when it comes to astrology, because they're going to see each other all from the same aspect of water, creating a triangle. I don't want to go too far because I can go on and on and on, but we could do one class at a time, Erin. That slow harvest that I'm talking about. All of them are trining, meaning that there's planets in all 3 of these signs, one in Cancer, one in Scorpio, and one in Pisces. Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. Are in the end. They're going to be going from like 22, 26 to 29 degrees in these signs at the same time. This is where we have that time to manifest this creation of what I was talking about, this journal, because we're going to have our mind with our fire, with our, this is what I want to do. I can create some intentions. I can give 40 minutes of myself to the church this week to help create this. And 20 minutes next week. Either way, I think that with enough participation, we can recreate a really cool 2026 journal that can be offered to the members of F.L.A.M.E.S and help us all stay in tune and in touch with how this equality thing is actually serving us at all times while we're in this experience. So this trine involves in Cancer, which is the first water sign of the zodiac, Jupiter, planet of expansion. It's going to be moving in the very final late degrees of Cancer from now until December. We're only going to talk about December in this particular instance because we're talking about this opportunity of this grand trine. The next one is Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all going to be in Scorpio. Mercury and Mars are going to be in the late degrees. Venus is going to come in a little bit later, but she's going to play a role. but Mercury moves quicker than Mars, and so it's going to go through Scorpio and out into Sag and go retrograde. Mercury's currently going retrograde in fire signs, just so that you know that for the future. But it goes back to 20 degrees of Scorpio, and so then it'll have to through it again. So we have this opportunity in Scorpio to have our passion behind us, our drive behind us, the Fool card ready to start something, anchored in, let's go, walking my dog, I'm ready. And Mercury saying, yeah, let's go. Getting to like 2 degrees or something of Sagittarius. I can't remember how far it's in Sag. And hold on, review. Hold on, double check. Hold on, edit. Hold on, to 20 degrees before it goes forward again and says, now it's perfect. And then Saturn, we know Saturn. Saturn is Father Time. Saturn is discipline. Saturn kind of will remind us exactly where we're supposed to be, whether we're aware of it or not, is in the 12th sign in the zodiac called Pisces. And he is in the late degrees, moving from, I think, 26 to 29 during this period. Degrees of Pisces. And I have such a different relationship with Saturn and Pisces, because Pisces is my second house, but in the collective energy, it's the 12th house. So Father Time is way out of bounds. Father Time does not do behind the veil. He doesn't do the other side of the veil. He's like, we're going to deal with your karmas, and we're going to deal with it. But that at the same time is also very, very needant of the 12th house. And of course, Neptune has been there for quite some time and is going to dip back in and kind of, I believe, clear the waters of some of what we have healed from to the best of our ability with Saturn in Pisces. And that will come after. And so I feel like it's actually just really refreshing having these signs kind of working with each other in favor of our experience. Like, it feels like a long time that has not necessarily been the case. It's been like, this is going to be the hard part from like about 2012. I mean, even like we get life, but till right now, it's been like, get in line. And this is what that looks like. I totally get all the directions that goes, but here we're trying to get in line, and this is where we are. Thank you so much for joining. These are all, again, like I said, in the late stages of this water trine portal we get for the next month and a half. And I did want to go over the gene keys that this particular time, while we manifest a planner, is in, so that you can start to introduce into your life, if you would like, what that is like for you. Now, do you see why journal becomes important? I hope so, because it really can be life-changing just to be able to jot some things down and be like, whoa, last time Saturn was here, this happened. And these are all things that you're literally going to learn through equality, because it's our as above, so below that makes us all equal. Otherwise, it's a good thing we have that. Whew, keep us all grounded. Otherwise, we'd be floating away and like melting or something. I don't even know. I'm going to start with Saturn because it's the planet that is furthest. These are all personal planets too. Like, these are all planets that we call personal planets because they're closest to the Earth. Saturn is out there whizzing around in the Gene Key or the I Ching chapter during this time from new moon till mid-December. And some of these are going to be on different trajectories, but I'm just only going till the middle of December. We can talk about things later. In Gene Key 36, the storm, and Gene Key 25, the innocent. This is Saturn, Father Time, planet of restriction, planet of structure. The storm, 36, so if you have an I Ching, pull it out. And 25, the innocent. But if you contemplate on those words and what they mean to you, then we can begin to know what those energies feel like. The sun is going to go through all of them every 365 days or 4. The next planet is Jupiter. That's the next one in this row of planets. And it's going to be in Cancer at the last degrees in 62, scientist, and 56, comedian. And then Mars, Venus, and Mercury moving through the final stages of Scorpio is 43, the rebel, 14, the powerhouse. So what I want to do is I want to go back and I want to read these in order, in the same order by planetary, starting with Saturn and ending with Mercury, the closest one. You know, like we have Mars, Venus, and Mercury all in Scorpio. And it's also the one that's going to go back in. So like it's probably going to pass Mars a lot. It's really going to scrub on Mars, and Venus maybe once. Like I said, we can check into this again in December. But the first phase of this transit that'll go from new moon until mid-December, we have the storm, scientist, and the rebel. Interesting. The storm is Saturn. The scientist is Jupiter, expansion. And then the rebel for Mars, Venus, and Mercury. That is like literally your guy in the armor, Mars, you know. Beautiful Venus. And thoughtful Mercury. That like goes right in the order of the things too. Then the second phase, when we're like constructing, creating, and having this like to print, we have Saturn, the innocent, Jupiter, the comedian, and Mars, Venus, and Mercury, the powerhouse. So again, the innocent, the comedian, the powerhouse. That just sounds to me like exactly how something should be manifested. The energies are absolutely perfect. So, for your new moon intentions, which it's pretty important to do, and I'm sorry that you don't have a journal to write the intention down in, but you will next year, I hope. For the personal, work on something you can work on for yourself, to yourself, for the next 28 days. Perfect. We just came out of Love.Fest Day, so this should be easy. And then a more collective one that you can use, and your collective one can be help equality create a journal that you can work on for the next month and a half, so that we can really get in the flow, and I mean this in a groundwater trine, get in the flow of these energies and see, if there's something to this, and we do put in the time and energy and effort, what mountains could we move? I'm going to leave it at that for this week. If you have the ability to donate, there's a link below, and we appreciate it so much. Of course, all of the links to our website and our Facebook and anything else is also in the description below. Please comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, especially if they're interested in learning about the church, different aspects of what we believe in, or want to participate on a deeper level in what equality looks like through flames, which is exactly what we're creating. I would appreciate you to share and spread the word. Have a blessed week.